Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Sade. Thank y'all so much for joining me for our astrology talk. For today, we are diving into the Scorpio lunar eclipse that we have happening on May 5th. Now, if you have not seen any of my videos on what an eclipse means, what we've been dealing with this Taurus Scorpio axis that we have been working with for the past year, go ahead and check out my videos on my channel, Hidden Alchemy, where I have tons and tons of information about what's going on in the stars as of now. So we have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio happening on May 5th. And basically, a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse energy in general, is when the collective north node and the collective south node are being activated by the sun and the moon. Right now, we have the sun in the sign of Taurus, which is matching the collective north node, and we will have the moon in the sign of Scorpio, which is matching the collective south node. That is what's making us have an eclipse, because it is something that's going to be felt on a deep collective level since we are working with the north node energy of Taurus. So if you haven't really been focusing or paying attention to the energy of this past year, it's really been this Venusian energy of self worth, self value, and attraction. Where are we in our life in terms of our resources? Where are we in our life in terms of how we value ourselves and our relationships? And that's just been the major theme with this Taurus energy that we've been working with. Now we have our final lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. So we will not have any more Scorpio eclipses until a little over a decade from now. And we will close out this Scorpio and Taurus axis in the end of the year when we have the final lunar eclipse in Taurus, which is really solidifying what have we been learning this past year with the Taurus Scorpio energy. So now that we did all of that breakdown, let's go ahead and dive into what's happening with this energy this week. And whenever we're dealing with the sign of Scorpio, Scorpio is feminine, it's fixed, and it's a water sign. And Scorpio rules transformation. It rules rebirth. It rules death. It rules secrets. But it also rules deep spiritual healing because of our capability to fully transform ourselves into the things that we want. And if you look back to the eclipse, the solar eclipse that we had in the sign of Aries 2 weeks ago, we were dealing with the energy of Mars, the masculine Mars. Scorpio is also Mars, but it's feminine Mars. 2 weeks ago, when we were dealing with the Aries solar eclipse, it was the energy of what are your wants, what are your goals, what are your desires, and how can you build that courage within yourself to go after the things that you want. Now that we're dealing with Scorpio energy, it's feminine Mars. And whenever you're dealing with feminine energy, it is internalization and having to dig deep within to do the transformation, not looking outside of yourself. So, this Scorpio energy is asking us, it's the final eclipse energy in the sign of Scorpio, asking us, where are you still holding on to mental thought patterns about yourself, insecurities about yourself, trauma that you haven't really accepted and healed from? And now it's time for you to take all of that pain, all of that darkness that you might feel insecure about, and turn that into your personal power. One thing I love about Scorpion energy, I myself am a Scorpio descendant with my North Node in the eighth house, which is the house of Scorpio, is it's always about taking your power back and not thinking that things are outside of you. Everything you want, everything you desire with this Mars energy is what you already have. But in order for you to attract it into your life, right? Venus, the opposite sign of Scorpio, is Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. It's about attraction. In order for you to attract something into your life, you have to become that thing first. And that is why Scorpio energy is so intimidating to work with, because it is asking us to literally kill an aspect of ourself so that we can become an entire new being, and we can now attract the things that we desire and we want into our life. So whenever we're dealing with Scorpio, there is an aspect of yourself that is no longer serving you, whether that be an actual person, an actual thing, an actual event, a thought, but there's an aspect of yourself that is no longer working in your life. And in order for you to get to the next level of where you want to be for yourself, you have to let it go. And another reason why dealing with the Scorpio and Taurus access is a little bit challenging is because, in my opinion, Taurus is one of the most stubborn fixed signs. And Taurus rules possessions, it rules wanting to hold on to things, hold on to people. And Scorpio rules power. And Scorpio, in its lowest vibration, likes to have power and control over other people because they have not tapped into that personal power within themselves. Now, when you're working with the lighter energy of Scorpio, it's about transforming yourself, knowing that you have the power, you have the capability to transform yourself, transform your psyche into becoming that thing that you desire so that you can now attract more of it into your life. Because everything that we want, we already have and we already are. We just have to see that in ourselves. Scorpio works with a lot of insecurity, a lot of pain, a lot of trauma. Scorpio can really see and feel beyond the veil, the truth of the matter and what's going on. And when you're working with Scorpio energy, it's really about using that truth that might be a little dark, that might be uncomfortable, and transforming yourself with the truth of what is so that nothing can have power over you and you can constantly be in control of your evolution. Scorpio at its most highest is truly alchemy. It's being able to take what you have and to transform it and make it into something completely different, which is very uncomfortable because you have to become something different in order to obtain the things that you want in your life. Now, the beautiful thing about this eclipse is preparing us for the new moon that we will have in Taurus at the middle part of May, as well as the North Node officially moving into Aries. So, working with this Mars energy, even though Scorpio is a feminine Mars, is really asking us, okay, the things that you desire, the things that you want, you can have, but there's a lot of changes that you have to make within yourself. If you take the time to make these changes within yourself, when we have that Taurus new moon, we're going to have 6 aspects in the sign of Taurus, which is very powerful. We're going to have the sun, the moon, Mercury is going to be in Taurus, Jupiter will be in Taurus, Uranus will also be in Taurus, as well as the North Node. So, Venus energy is about abundance, it's about attraction. Whatever you let go of with this Scorpio full moon, this Scorpio lunar eclipse, this is going to prepare you to step into abundance with this new moon energy. And then as we move into the North Node, shifting out of Taurus, moving into Aries, then you can really go after and be intentional and direct about the things that you want. So, a lot of energy. We have Mercury in retrograde, we got Pluto about to go retrograde, this full moon. It's a very uncomfortable season, but it's necessary for our transformation and really just making us into our most powerful self and tapping into our personal power and really just being our own true alchemist in our journey. So take your time with this full moon energy. It's not a time to manifest, it's a time to just step back, see what's going on, observe what's happening within you, journal a lot, write a lot of things down, and most importantly, rest. Because a lot of shifts are happening, a lot of changes are taking place in this beautiful month of May. So you want to make sure that you are really well rested and light in the mind and body so you can take advantage of this energy. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me for our talk. I will see you for the new moon that we have happening in Taurus, as well as Jupiter moving into the sign of Taurus. Happy eclipse, y'all.